This is the one-day reading for the S&P 500 throughout the day of March 8th, 2022. And it's currently March 1st, 2022, 9:26 p.m. The overall theme and behavior looks to me as though Congress, it's either Congress or a foreign government agency that's highlighted, and there's a sharp decline as a result. We have a preview or a pre-market of three crisscrosses through the same price level, and then after the third cross it's kind of like confirms an uptrend, but I'm advised to be prudent around the open because we drop from a support resistance level down to a support, and then we bounce along sideways along that support between roughly 9:30 and 10 o'clock. But that continues into more of a bigger decline, a more intense decline between 10 and 11, in which we break down through a important support level. That breakdown through an important support level between roughly 10 and 11 is followed roughly between 11 and 12 by a big move higher. It's either a J-shaped rally or a upside down U-shaped rally. I should say an upside down J-shaped rally or an upside down U-shaped rally between roughly 11 and 12-ish. There's an intentional fake out, shake out, something the computers do to trigger falsely an indicator and make people do something impulsive, possibly. Yeah, and it has to do with we break through a resistance level. It's an important resistance level as signified by the truce card. That's between 12 and 1. We reach a important bottom for the day between roughly 1 and 2 o'clock. Between 2 and 3, roughly, we have another important price level that's highlighted. It's the intersection of multiple trend lines. In the last hour, we have strife, which is a decline with spikes that are lower each time. There's like multiple spikes, and each spike it'll hit resistance, and the resistance in the case of strife is going to be moving averages that are acting as resistance. So that's like the last hour. Oh, and then we move into a sharp decline overnight. We're in the post market. Right around the open, or right around the close, though, there's a big move higher, probably some sort of fake out, like a spike higher right around the close. And we visit an important price level around the high. Looks like we create support out of it, at least temporarily. Around the low, a male ruler will be highlighted on the news around the low. It'll be something highlighting him around the low, same timing. And the sneak preview card for March 9th is multiple failed attempts to break key resistance. The trade card for today, it's the same. It's the card that was the sneak preview card for the prior day, for the 7th. So the sneak preview of today from the prior reading was the strength card, indicating a good trade. This is a significant trade, and I should be looking for the push higher in the midst of a decline as my trade opportunity. It's likely going to be here. I'll be able to determine that much more concisely when I do the meta pattern portion. And you should stay tuned for that, guys. I'll see you in a bit, and thanks for watching. Hello, my friends. This is the one-day reading for the S&P 500 throughout the day of March 8th, 2022. It's currently March 4th, 2022, 1:42 a.m. So the overall behavior and theme for the S&P 500 throughout the 8th, it's going to be a sharp decline, guys. A sharp decline. highlighted by something to do with either Congress or a foreign legislative branch. That'll be the main highlight, with a sharp decline, possibly even a market failure. There's a low correlation in the pre-market. Yeah, there's a low correlation in the pre-market. That's likely the day's low right there. And there's also a high correlation right around the open, so we could have a like the first main high of the day right around the open, coming out of that pre-market low. And the pre-market is going to be three crisscrosses through the same price level, and after the third time it crosses through, it's going to confirm a bullish trend. Now that bullish trend in the first half hour-ish, that Congress or foreign legislative branch is going to be highlighted. There'll be a trade opportunity towards the end of the half hour, so like right before 10 o'clock. And there'll be a decline from a decline to a support level, and then we'll be bouncing along that support level sideways in that first half hour. But then there's a sharper decline between roughly 10 and 11, which really picks up some steam right around the 10:30 mark. We have a high correlation between between 11 and 12. So there's going to be a big move higher out of that decline, marking likely the first day's like main crest. And it's going to be a push higher that'll be like really notable, and it'll likely be like an upside down J shape, or it could be a upside down U shape. Most likely an upside down J shape. But there's also a fake out in there. It looks like that's likely a fake out there. Between 12 and 1, there's an important price level that's highlighted, and an important bottom. There's a notable, significant bottom on the daily chart here between, I should say, significant trough between roughly 1 and 2 o'clock. And then we have a day's low somewhere right around the 205 mark, and then there's another price level that's highlighted there. These look like likely they're resistance levels. These two price levels are possibly the same price level. And then we have Strife in the last hour of trading. Again, Strife, it's like a three. It's like you get these pokes higher to meet moving averages, and the moving averages are above the price level as we move lower. And these pokes higher, each poke is lower than the last poke, and the moving averages are going to act. They meet the moving averages to act as resistance before we go lower. That's Strife. Big push, or notable push right at the close, like out of nowhere, big push right around the close. And then we have a very strong decline in the post-market, as indicated by the Universe card, the biggest decline card in the deck. Preview for the following days: multiple failed attempts to reach break through key resistance. The day's highs for the 8th, they're going to be fast sudden move. They're going to form from fast sudden moves higher that appear at the end of moments of bullish rotation. And the behavior around the low is likely first thing in the morning. Look at the 1 month. Yeah, so there's a big push higher out of this decline. Big push higher out of this decline. So look, we have the strength card from the 7th. It was previewing the 8th. We have the strength card in the trade position on the 8th. And then if we look at the 1 month overview, we've got the strength card for the 8th. So very, very significant move out of a sharp like the move out of the it'll be a notable decline, an unpleasant surprise at the end of Monday. Matter of fact, an unpleasant surprise takes us to a major low, and there's a big, big drop, and we push higher out of that big, big drop on the 8th. A male ruler will be highlighted around the lows. And that's March 8th, 2022 for the S&P 500, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you do. Thanks for the likes and the shares and the subscribes, guys. If you haven't done so, please do so. That really helps us out. And blessings to you. I'll see you on the next one.